Hey guys, it's Miriam from John and Miriam's travel vlog. You know, I love my husband, but when it comes to the Spyder, sometimes it's really hard for me to get a word in edgewise. So today, I thought I would give you my take on motorcycle training school. So you might wonder where John is. You know he can't be far away. John?
Behind the camera.
All right, so I wanted to tell you about my adventure. You know, if you watch the other videos, that I spent last weekend in motorcycle training school, and it really was an interesting experience. There were 10 of us in the class. The class is actually run by the Motorcycle Safety Center of Virginia in collaboration with our local community college. The motorcycles, some of them, are actually on loan from Can-Am Spyder. And they loaned these Spyders for a year, so there were several 2018 and 2017 models for students to use, which was really great. Then after a year, they sell them used, and they get a new set to use for training. There were also some Harley trikes and even a sidecar, which was interesting. None of the students in my class were interested in riding a sidecar, but it was interesting to see how that vehicle operated. So I think most of you probably know what a trike is, but in case you don't, a trike is a motorcycle that has two wheels in the back, one in the front. The Can-Am Spyder is the only motorcycle that was actually built for three wheels, and it has two wheels in the front and one in the back. And as John taught me early in his research of the Can-Am Spyder, it clearly has superior engineering. So there were 10 of us in the class, 6 men, 4 women. There was one married couple, which I thought was kind of neat. Most of us were in our 50s and 60s. Probably the oldest in the class was in late 60s. And some had ridden two-wheel motorcycles 20 or more years ago. Some had ATV experience, and some, like myself, had no experience whatsoever. You know, I've ridden cars, obviously, driven them, manual and automatic transmission, but never a motorcycle, never an ATV, nothing like that. In fact, I work in human resources. I'm really good at hiring and firing, but when it comes to machines, they're a little bit of a foreign entity to me. But the class is designed for people who have no experience whatsoever. Our instructor was Skip, who is actually a retired fighter pilot. He flew F-14s in the Air Force. Our second instructor, who helped us out on the course, was Sherry, and she's been a Can-Am Spyder rider for, I think, since 2008, so for several years. Skip does not ride a Spyder. He actually has a Goldwing. So it was very interesting, 3 hours classroom training in the morning, and then 5 or more hours of riding on the course, which was really great. Because I brought our Spyder, I didn't have to share with another class member, so I got a little bit more ride time, which I really needed because of that. So, as you would expect, the training really emphasizes safety, and that's what I wanted also. But because of that, we did a lot of maneuvers that hopefully I won't have to do frequently on the Spyder. Things like swerving to avoid an obstacle in the road, a lot of practice on curves and that kind of thing. I can tell you that I left that first day feeling fairly confident in the starting and stopping sequence, but that was about it. You know, I was having some trouble operating the throttle. I've never had a vehicle that utilizes an accelerator in a hand grip, that kind of setup, and I was having some trouble, particularly when I would have to steer and also accelerate. So and that's something that, I'm feeling better about now, but I remember leaving that first day thinking, I just hope and pray that I can pass this class, because I wasn't feeling very good about it. But after a good night's rest, and I can tell you, all of us slept really well after that first day of class, I came back with new energy, and it seemed better the second day. But I did learn several things that kind of surprised me. One is it's not as easy as it looks. One of the great things about the Spyder is that it's automatic transmission, that it doesn't have a clutch, that it's has power steering, and I expected it to be really easy to operate, but it took more arm strength than I realized, and I felt it in my muscles afterwards. In fact, I'm a bit of a lightweight, but I had planned to take Monday off from work just so I would have time to run, my normal errands and that kind of thing. But I actually made an appointment to have a massage that day because I was so sore in my arms and between my shoulder blades and even my quads. In those curves, they teach you, even though the Spyder is not likely to tip and you don't have to lean into the curve the way you do on a two-wheel motorcycle, they taught us to shift our weight and actually to hang off the seat and bring the other leg kind of up a little bit when we were going around curves. So that took some agility, and I felt it afterwards. Another thing that I learned is I have a tremendous appreciation for John's skill set. Last summer we took the Spyder up to the mountains and we rode quite a bit on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and there are very steep mountain grades there and all kinds of curves, and I don't think John ever broke a sweat, or if he did, it wasn't evident to me. And I remember that first day of class, I'm thinking, well, where can I go without having to hit a curve? I'll just drive in straight lines. That'll be my strategy, because the curves on the course were challenging for me. Another thing that I learned about the Spyder is that it really is a foolproof machine. It's smarter than we are in some ways. The course was not very large, and they wanted us to accelerate so we could shift into second gear. And I was worried about forcing the shift. I didn't feel like I had enough distance to really get up to the speed that they were asking of us. But you really can't harm the machine, or maybe you could, but it would be very difficult. And they told us that if by whatever fluke you managed to lift a wheel, that the computer would actually set the wheel down again. So it's really geared for safety and ease of travel, and I really appreciate those qualities. It was humorous when we started the class. 3 of my classmates preferred a trike. In fact, one of them had brought a trike with her, and it was her intention to learn to test on the trike. But she had never operated a clutch before, even on a car. She had never operated a clutch, and she really struggled. And at the end of the first day, she decided to switch to the Spyder. And one of the gentlemen in the class, he also made that decision. So at the end, it was only one man who held out to ride the trike. Everyone else was on the Spyders. So I think that too speaks to just the ease of operating the Spyder, and I think it surprised some of the members of the class how enjoyable it was to ride the Spyder as well. So I have a great sense of accomplishment having passed the class. Oh, and by the way, there are 20 exercises that you complete, exercises or drills, you could say, and 4 of them you're actually tested on at the end of the training. And you don't know the results of those 4 exercises until the very end of the day when you're presented with your certificate. So that was a little bit stressful. It felt like I was back in college or something. But so I had a true sense of accomplishment in earning that certificate. I did not graduate at the top of my class. I was just happy to graduate. But I also recognize that although John teases me as being a biker chick, I'm really a biker chick with training wheels, because I know that I need much more practice before I really will feel confident on the road. But I'm getting there, and I'm having a good time. It really is. It's fun. It's just hard to describe the sensation you have when the wind is in your face and you're in the open air. I just find it very enjoyable, and I'm really excited to get there. So I hope I've inspired you to maybe think about taking the class and or at least trying a Spyder. There were some folks in the class who were enrolled so they could have a taste of the Spyder before they decide to make a purchase or not. So I hope you'll get out there and give it a go. So we hope we'll see you on the road sometime. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe.
Miriam, take one.
Right.
I didn't have to do that, but it was just fun to do. We're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling?
You can start whenever you want to.
Oh, okay. Hi, this is Miriam from John and Miriam's travel vlog. I immediately forgot what I was going to say. That's terrible. Spyder, it's hard to get an Let me try this again.
Take 3.